Yo, what is going on everyone? Welcome back to a brand new Destiny video. Guiding Light here. Now in this video, I'm going to be breaking down a shit ton of loot for you guys. I just went out and grinded out a bunch of tokens for all of the factions, being Dead Orbit, Future War Cult, and New Monarchy. We got over 1,000 tokens here, and we are going to break down all of the loot from each and every faction that I went to. So to start things off, we are on my Titan, and we are headed to the Dead Orbit. Now, I got pretty lucky with Dead Orbit, and I only really needed to get about 150 tokens for this faction here before I got a good majority of the loot that I wanted. So, to start things off, we got the very first package we opened. We ended up getting the Guiding Star Assault Rifle. Now, for the good majority of these packages, guys, I'm just going to spam through them, otherwise we're going to be here all day. There's over 50 packages here that I'm opening up today, so I'm going to be spamming through a good majority of them. Now, my inventory is also full in some of the slots, so you will see a lot of things go to the Postmaster, but don't worry, we are going to go check out the Postmaster after we open up all these packages, and that way we can get a exact idea of just how much loot we got from each faction. So here we are, we're going to finish up the Dead Orbit now, and then head over to the Postmaster so I can show you guys everything that I got from Dead Orbit. Besides just some shaders and some armor, I actually ended up getting some pretty decent weapons as well, and that only took about 130 tokens for Dead Orbit before I got everything that I wanted. So one thing I can say about Dead Orbit that was a little different from the last time things came around for the faction rally is that their guns just didn't seem to be as good as they were last time around. And as you guys can see here in the Postmaster, I really didn't get too much additional loot compared to what was already in my inventory. We got plenty of random gear and stuff that you can get from normal packages, like this is stuff that's not even specific to Dead Orbit or anything like that, just a bunch of random gear. Now we also did get 2 of the Dead Orbit shotguns, which is cool. I did not have one of those yet, so I went ahead and deleted one of the shotguns. Now we also got the 3 Graves pulse rifle. Now this pulse rifle is pretty similar to the Vigilance wing. It has a pretty slow fire rate, but it hits pretty hard as well. So if you are someone that likes Vigilance wing pulse, you may want to get that pulse rifle as well. Now next up we have the Guiding Star, which is the first thing I got from Dead Orbit. It's an auto rifle here. Now, I was pretty hyped to use this thing as it looked pretty dope when I was just inspecting it and taking a look at the perks. But after using it in the Crucible for about 2 or 3 games, I don't know, I just didn't think it was all that great. And it's definitely not going to outperform like a Uriel's Gift or pretty much any other auto rifle in that class. So, as much as this gun does look pretty cool and the shaders on it definitely do it some justice, I don't know if I would really go out of my way just to specifically get this gun. But if you get it, I wouldn't scrap it or anything like that either. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's all the loot that I got from Dead Orbit. We got the auto rifle, the shotgun, the scout, the pulse, and then we also finally got the submachine gun as well, the escape velocity. So we're going to take one quick look here at that escape velocity. Now, I have not tried this out yet in the Crucible at all, so I can't really say whether or not that's good or not. But based on the stats that I saw, I'm sure there's plenty of better options out there. So unfortunately, Dead Orbit really wasn't that great for the faction rally this time around. Now we do still have Future War Cult and New Monarchy to open. Now for Future War Cult, I put in about 300 or 400 tokens. And then for the New Monarchy, just because I really like the shaders the most out of all of the other factions, I put in about 500 or 600 tokens into New Monarchy. So there's still tons of gear and still tons of loot to see on this video. And we are going to head over back into my other character now so we can go to the tower and then get the Future War Cult loot from my hunter. Now in order to save some time, I only got 150 tokens at a time on this character just to make sure that I didn't get a bunch of duplicates and I could really make sure that I got everything that I wanted without having to waste a bunch of time. So you will see me go to the Future War Cult multiple times here. Now on the first time that I went to the Future War Cult, as you guys can see here, I had 140 tokens. Now the next time you guys see me go to the Future War Cult, I will have 160 tokens, meaning that in total we dropped 300 tokens into Future War Cult. So we're just going to start off here opening up these packages. We're just going to spam through them again just like last time, and then we'll head to the Postmaster so you guys can see exactly what I've gotten. So compared to the Dead Orbit, the Future War Cult gave me an incredible amount of gear. Now I did have way more tokens, almost triple the amount of tokens to put into the Future War Cult as I did the Dead Orbit, but regardless of that, we did get a ton more of the actual faction loot. From the Dead Orbit, we seemed to get a lot of just random gear and weapons that didn't have anything to do with the factions, whereas Future War Cult did definitely give me a ton more gear that was definitely related to the actual faction. So we got more armor pieces and also just more overall weapons in general from the Future War Cult than we did Dead Orbit. So here are a quick look at some of the stat rolls on the weapons that I got. We got the sidearm, which is new to the faction rally. We also got the submachine gun, which is new to the faction rally, and let me tell you, after using the submachine gun in only just 2 games, I'm really starting to like this thing. It might actually become my new primary if I decide to run a submachine gun. This will probably be my go-to submachine gun now after using that just for 1 game. I'm really loving that thing, so I definitely would not scrap that thing down if you got it. It's a pretty solid gun. and as you can see, it compares to the phosphorus pretty well, and that was the old submachine gun that I was using. It has a bigger clip, more range, and some of the perks in general are just better on that sub, so I would definitely test that thing out if you haven't used it yet. So that was my first set of loot from Future War Cult, 140 tokens worth of packages. Now next up we have 160 tokens to cash in again. I didn't end up getting all the things that I wanted, so I went back out to get some more tokens and cash them in on the second run. So here's a quick look at what I got from the second set of engrams. 160 tokens worth gets us about 8 packages. So again, we're going to spam through all these. You can see some of the drops here popping up already on the right, but we will be going to the Postmaster as soon as this is over, so you guys can get a quick look at the stat rolls on some of these weapons and just get a better look at all the loot that I got overall, meaning the blues and, you know, everything that I got, not just the faction weapons in the Postmaster. So we made our way to the post, and as well as having the full inventory worth of weapons and gear, we did get a ton more non-faction gear that we need to delete. Just get off my character so we have space for more loot. So we're going to delete this really quickly and then get into some of the weapons that I got. Now I also got a few armor pieces, but they were armor pieces that I already have, so you can see me just scrapping them down here now. Now we did get the new pulse rifle, the Heart of Time. I have not gotten the chance to try that out in the Crucible yet. We got the True Prophecy hand cannon, which I got the last time the faction rally came around. So I made sure just to completely delete that True Prophecy. That's a great hand cannon if you haven't used it yet, or if you're new to this faction rally, or maybe even playing on PC. That is a great hand cannon, but unfortunately I already had it, so I just went ahead and deleted it. Now here's a quick look at the new pulse rifle, the Heart of Time. Haven't had the chance to use this in the Crucible yet. It looks somewhat similar to the Nurgle, but just looking at the stats on it alone, I just don't think I'll be using that anytime soon, unless it's just to see, you know, like how bad it is in general, because it does not look very good just based on the stats. So lastly, we have the grenade launcher. Now I got a bunch of other random duplicate weapons and just random blues that can randomly drop from those packages. But as for actual faction weapons, the last thing that I got was this new grenade launcher, the Memory Interdict. So I have not gotten the chance to use this grenade launcher at all in the Crucible or PvE. Grenade launchers generally aren't my thing in this game, so I can't really tell you much about that Future War Cult grenade launcher, but it does look pretty cool, and I'll definitely be holding on to it to give it a shot sometime later down the road. So as for all of the loot we got from Future War Cult after 300 tokens, here's a quick look at the list of weapons and armor that I got. But as you guys can see, Future War Cult gave us a lot more loot than the Dead Orbit. And now finally we have the last set of factions, which is the new Monarchy, where we put in about 500 or 600 tokens. So stay tuned, guys. Still a ton more loot to come, and I will see you guys once I get on my Warlock so we can open up the loot from the new Monarchy. Alright guys, so we finally made it. We're on the last character, the last sets of packages here. We are at the new Monarchy. So the new Monarchy has some of the best gear and weapons this time around for the faction rally. So again, we're just going to spam through all this gear here. I know this is kind of boring to watch at this point, just seeing me just spam these packages. So I'm just going to cut to the chase here and go straight to the Postmaster. So as you guys can see, I'm just getting tons and tons of loot. We ended up with like a ridiculous amount of shaders, an insane amount of weapons and weapon parts after going through all these factions, especially the new Monarchy. Now, what was crazy is that I actually put in over 650 tokens to the new Monarchy, completely capped out to the point where you can't get any more loot. All I get is shaders, and I was never given the hand cannon. So that hand cannon, at least for me, has definitely been quite the rare drop. I've received just about every single other weapon from the Dead Orbit, as well as the Future War Cult. Now, the only thing that I didn't get from Dead Orbit was the grenade launcher and the scout rifle, and that only took 150 tokens. As with Future War Cult, that took maybe about 300 before I got everything that they had to offer. Now, although I put the most into New Monarchy, I did get all of the gear, a pretty good majority of it. I don't believe I got the helmet, but I also never got the hand cannon. So after going through all 30 of the packages with New Monarchy, I still unfortunately did not receive everything that I had wanted. Now, luckily, I had the helmet from the last time the faction rally was here, so I do still have it left over from that. But I just think it's pretty crazy to think after that many tokens that I just didn't get everything. So other than that, guys, here's a quick rundown of everything that I got from the new Monarchy. So here's the full list of all the rewards, the random gear, the faction gear, the weapons, and just everything else in between. So overall, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I'm going to leave up all of the loot at the end so you guys can see exactly what I got from all three factions and just combine it all for yourselves if you're interested. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to drop a like down below. This did take quite a bit of time to make. I know a lot of you guys are interested to see what type of loot you're going to get from the factions and just about how many tokens it takes to get it all, so here is all in one quick video for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.